Hey, Adam.
What's up?
Have you ever been on an aeroplane?
I have.
Have you been planing?
I'd rather not.
Have you been complaining?
All the time. This sucks. I'm Adam Maness.
And I'm Peter Martin.
And you're listening to the You'll Hear It podcast.
Daily jazz advice coming at you.
Coming at you, today's episode is sponsored by SoundSlice. Please go to soundslice.com/transcribe to check out one of the coolest music tools there is. It's a browser-based software that allows you to transcribe videos. You can sync that transcription up to the video so you see the notation scrolling along with the music. It's incredible. It's a great way to learn. There's a community of people doing this, so you can see a lot of free transcriptions, all different kinds of instruments. We use it here at Open Studio on all of our courses every day. It's a brilliant tool. Go check it out.
Yes, and I was just trying to remember, I looked up on their site what their slogan is, the better music learning experience, which really, captures exactly what this beautiful, elegant, speedy, accurate piece of software does. It's a wonderful music learning experience, so check it out.
Check it out.
Yep.
Okay, so we're talking about planes today because we got a user email.
Oh, I thought we were going on a trip. Because it's summertime.
Oh, yeah, man. We should do a You'll Hear It like vacation week or something where you know how sometimes shows like Conan will go to New York or something like that? Like we should
go to like Kirkwood or Webster.
I was thinking more like Cozumel or maybe St. Thomas.
Cozumel.
Potato.
But yeah, we could do it. You'll hear it on location. From the beach.
That would be fantastic.
Yeah, we could pull our Speedos out for that episode. YouTube, where you at?
We promise we won't do that. We promise we won't do that.
Okay, so no, we're not talking about that kind of plane yet, though, right? We're talking about planing, which, last time we talked about this, and I can't remember if we ever talked about it in an episode, but I really exposed a slight bit of ignorance I have in that I had no idea what the hell this was.
I don't know what it is either. I mean, I know what the concept is once it was explained to me, but I'd never heard the term planing. Our mutual friend, friend of the podcast and friend of Open Studio, Brian Fielding, was showing us planing, and we were both like, oh, yeah. Planing. Yeah, right. I mean, not really knowing that that's what it was called.
Yeah, I know about complaining. I even know about mansplaining. Do you know about that? That's a hot new concept.
I know you know about that.
Yeah. But planing, yeah. And so since neither one of us knows much about this, we thought it'd be the perfect question to answer.
This is from Taurine.
Our member, longtime member.
He writes, "Hey, Adam and Peter, thanks a lot for this. I've been working extensively on voicings, and it is definitely a lot of help. However, one thing that I've been struggling to grasp that I was originally asking regarding voicings is more along the lines of harmonic planing. In other words, taking a shape or a group of notes within a mode scale and moving it around in different ways. I feel like when I am comping, I am only limited to thirds, fourths, and so what voicings. What about using intervals like fifths, sixths, seconds, triads, or clusters? Are there intervals and shapes that I should avoid? A lot of modern pianists and arrangers use voicings that are more based on shapes within a given mode or scale, and then they move that shape around the scale in different ways. For instance, could I take a random group of notes using the diminished scale and move it around in minor thirds? What about Lydian shape, minor, Locrian, whole tone, etc.? I am interested in this particular technique of harmonic planing because I would like to move a voicing or shape around in different ways rather than just having one stock voicing for each given chord. I would like to sit down at the piano and come up with new voicings and develop my own unique sound. I would be very happy if you and Peter would do a You'll Hear It episode on this. So we are.
Yes.
And that's a great question.
I'm
Thank you.
I'm more confused about what planing is now.
Yeah, I think, I don't know if Taurine has it right or if Brian has it right. Or I mean, all I know is I think I know what sound they're looking to get. Mm-hmm. I think of people like Kenny Kirkland and McCoy Tyner and folks like that.
I like those guys.
I do too.
Yeah.
Herbie. Yeah. Hancock.
Yeah.
But this idea of a shape that moves around. Now, the best way to, I think, get into this is taking a simple voicing and moving it diatonically. He mentioned the so what voicings. Right. This is like, 101 planing right here.
Right.
I don't know.
But he's talking about, by saying harmonic planing, he means comping.
Yeah, I think so.
But I think we could also extend that out to melodic ideas that are based upon shapes of comping voicings, right?
This is a very, very good point.
I mean, I do
listeners. They go hand in hand. They're a similar thing. So if you make a shape, and this works so well on piano, these 4-note, 5-note shapes because of the way our hands work, but you can think of them as just broken voicings that you're planing, over diatonically. So is our key station working here, Andrew?
Are we key stationed up?
Key stationed up?
It is
not.
Okay, so why don't we pause here and then we're going to get it working. All right, we are all good to go. We are good to go, my brother.
That's impressive.
No, that was not impressive. Wait, hold on. Okay, here we go. All right, we're all good to go.
Key station's hooked up.
Key station is in the house.
Come on, Andrew.
Ready for planing.
Okay, so let's take those so what voicings.
Yes.
You got this. Now, right, so the first thing you could do with that shape is just move that shape. I mean, it's easy to do on D minor because it's all white keys.
So we're talking diatonic planing here,
That's
right?
what I'm thinking, yeah.
As opposed to chromatic.
I mean, both work, but the easiest one to see is the diatonic, right?
And he did mention, too, like over diminished moving in minor thirds, which is definitely something that works well when you're taking certain voicings and moving them up in minor thirds.
But why not move the diminished? Why not practice moving in the diminished scale?
Yeah, there's that too. Well, that's harder.
It's harder. But think about the choices you would have if you could do that. I can't do that. But that idea of taking a diatonic thing and moving it up. So what about just a left hand 3-note voicing, F7, E flat, A, D, right? One of those classic, right? And taking that up diatonic, the F dominant scale. That's something you hear all the time.
Yeah, and I think what I mentioned earlier in terms of, and this is why I think it's so great for one-handed voicings, to try to learn them in both hands, even in that same kind of register of the piano,
right?
Is then, somewhat immediately or as early as you can, trying to think about the melodic possibilities, the horizontal possibilities. So you got those same voicings, you can do it in both hands, but the idea being that there's a lot of different ways. Am I playing it? I don't know, because I still don't know what it means. I feel, but the simplest is I don't know, that doesn't do anything, but it's fun anyway.
Yeah.
So the simplest, and I did a lesson on this yesterday actually for Jazz Piano Method, where we're talking about patterns. And I've always been anti-patterns, but it's like, how do you take something, but actually music, a lot of musical ideas are based upon setting up patterns and different expectations in terms of melody or harmony, and then breaking them, adding drama to
absolutely.
them. But if you take a simple pattern, well, let's do it even over a diminished. So you've got the half-hold diminished scale. If you're doing broken thirds, that's a very simple pattern. And that's kind of the simplest way to do it. But what about, how do you do that in a way that doesn't sound boring and too much of a pattern?
I don't know how.
Well, maybe you go.
Put some chromaticism in there.
Add a little chromaticism as you're coming out of it, as opposed to.
Yeah.
Where you sound like a computer, where it's like. And I noticed I also added in a little, I went from 16th or 8th or whatever those are to triplets too, so it's like you're playing with the rhythm, you're breaking up that rhythmic pattern as well. And anything that we do in terms of, wow, now I found a sound that I like, has the danger of it becoming like, now you systematized it so much, it's not nice, it's not as it loses its musicality. So it's like, how do you take something, and I understand what he's saying as far as you take something that you like and how do you expand your vocabulary with it. And it's fine to do that, but then you always have to think about something unexpected with it, because art is unexpected. It's not supposed to be like, computer programming.
Yeah, I'm a square box.
I am a square box.
Well, that's interesting you say that, because what I was just thinking of, one of the things that planing or doing these things, so if we start off with a voicing here, like this F7 sort of sus voicing, F, B flat, E flat, G, right? If I'm comping, and we can do the diatonic thing, which gives really some nice sounds. You know what I mean? Some nice tension. Next one's cool. B flat, E flat, A, and I'm just moving all notes up. But so like you said, to go some unexpected places, we can do things like same concept we would have with an enclosure, right? where we surround a note. You can do that with this voicing. So if I go up diatonically, and then maybe I want to go back to the original, you know?
Yeah.
You can do things like going up. We know that diminished minor thirds are an even interval. So we can do the first two, and then go up to A flat, then up to B, then up to D. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And then back to F. All these things.
Well, I can tell too by the way you're reacting. Like these things, it's about experimenting, and then you're listening because not every one of them is going to work, but every one of them is good to kind of catalog what it sounds like. Because
exactly.
You're never going to find like one concept where you take it, diatonically or chromatically or in minor thirds or whatever, and they're all going to sound great for every situation.
You have to experiment. You have to use your ears, and so this is all about like the planing is just a great opportunity to take it out and to make sounds that aren't in the diatonic key. Like another thing you can do with any voicing like that is sort of like experiment with keeping that top note the same.
Ooh, I like that.
And moving it around. Any kind of, for lack of a better word, pattern, but something that the ear can ground on, gives you a lot of freedom to do some crazy stuff,
And this is getting away from this a little bit, but I love like what you're doing here is the quickest, most effective way to turn comping, to separate the voices immediately.
Yeah.
And all you're doing is you're only leaving one note the same at the top, but that immediately gives it some autonomy in a way that then you can start to move, two voices on the middle end or whatever.
Yeah.
But it immediately gets the listener's ear into that place as opposed to like everything moving in block fashion.
It gives you kind of a buffer on the ears to try some things. And I have I'm not really planning anything out. You start to develop an ear for what shapes sound good. And this can work too, with your left hand comping and your right hand soloing or something. Like leaning on a phrase or a note. Like always hitting that B flat and then changing that. To it gets you that nice kind of sound.
It's good. So I'm just looking at some other parts of the question because he brought up so many different, like he says, what about using other intervals like fifth, sixth, seconds, triads or clusters in terms of when he's feeling more limited to thirds, fourth, and so what voicings. Absolutely. We're trying all those. And like this is some really good techniques to getting into trying that, but we're just remembering the simplicity of it, even as we get more complex with our experimentation. The simplicity is about keying in on how it sounds.
Absolutely.
How it sounds in terms of a progression, what's going to work, what's not going to work, and kind of cataloging those sounds in relation to how they feel in your hands so that you start to build up that vocabulary. Because I do get the feeling from the whole question that there's a certain kind of, a yearning for Taurine to expand his comping. We're talking about planing, but the vocabulary that you have in order to be able to do this and start to set off on all these different patterns.
Yeah, for clusters, start experimenting. The most common cluster Taurine that you're going to find is like a second on the bottom and then either the third, fourth, fifth, or sixth on top. The sound. I use these all the time in my right hand. And they can be broken.
Man, that sounds like Dave Grusin with that sound, with that key station sound. You took me back to 1986 right there, man. Yeah. Good stuff. Okay, and then the other part was, oh, come on now. Watch it. And it's just particular harmonic playing because I like to move a voicing or shape around in different ways rather than just having one style. Yeah, I mean, you're already onto it conceptually. It's just a matter of experimenting and taking it through. I'll try to hit a jazz piano method lesson about this as well.
This is a good point, though, for Taurine, because you have it conceptually, but don't just leave it there. Don't just say I think I understand, and then you get on the jam session, get on the gig, and you're just messing around. Take some time in your practice routine to really focus on this and experiment. It's only going to make you better at this, and you're going to find things that fit you and find sounds that way. You're not going to find that on the gig pretty much. You can, but really take the time to kind of go through it in your daily practice routine. Get in your hands.
Absolutely. Good stuff. Thank you, Taurine, for the question. We're having a lot of fun here. Mm-hmm. We would like to let folks know about our sponsor one more time because that's how we roll up in here. Soundslice.com. Go and check them out.
Yep.
And go to their community section. Go check out the Open Studio little part of there. There might be some examples of planing in there. I wouldn't be surprised if there weren't. You can start to see how they're notated while you watch the video, while you listen to the sound, because that's the way they do it at soundslice.com. What else we got?
Go to you'llhearit.com.
Ooh, I like that place. That's a happy place. That's a safe space.
It's a very safe space.
That's a safe space for jazz lovers, not jazz haters.
You can leave us a voice message. You can check out our blog. And yeah, you can check out our open studio courses. Hey, we still have, by the way, what do you know about BOGO?
BOGO. I've been on my BOGO stick all weekend, my friend.
We still have our BOGO offer. We're going to extend it for our You'll Hear It folks.
All week, right?
All week. So this is when you buy the Jazz Piano Method, Jazz Piano for Beginners, which is our most popular course here.
It is.
A great course by Peter Martin, setting beginning jazz pianists up. Great for instrumentalists of like non-pianists. Great for learning piano for the first time. When you buy that at $129, you get Elements of Jazz Piano, which is the course that leads directly from it. There's a lineage here. You see what I'm creating?
Yeah, it's beginner, then intermediate.
That's right. You get that for free.
You get that for free. Wait, so you mean like $5?
No, I mean free. I mean buy one, get one.
So it's like a 99-cent add-on. Is that what you're saying?
No, BOGO. Buy one, get one. Could be BOGOF, but it's not as catchy as BOGO.
Buy one, get one free. I like it.
So
how would they do that? They would go and put both of them in their cart, I'm assuming?
Yeah, go to openstudionetwork.com.
Yes.
You can go to .com/piano so you can see all our piano courses.
Yeah.
Put Jazz Piano for Beginners and Elements of Jazz Piano in your cart.
Yes.
And then put in the offer code at the offer code field.
Which is on the top of the checkout page. It's a little hidden. I don't know why. But you gotta search for it. It's there, though.
Folks can find it.
Hey, folks can find it.
Put in BOGO, B-O-G-O.
B-O-G-O. And you will magically get the second course for free. And we hope you enjoy that. Please let us know what you think. Taking us out today, we have a listener tune.
I love this.
You didn't know about this. I usually forget about these. And you often
I don't think you once ever remembered to do one.
Well, today, mark your calendar, sir.
Oh, gosh.
We're planing on into this tune. This is called Luna. And I haven't got a chance to listen to this yet, but it's been vetted by one of the Open Studio staff, so we're excited about this. It's by RhythmEarth Electric Trio, and it's set in by Nick Saunders, friend of the podcast, friend of Open Studio. So this is exciting. Looking forward to hearing this. So Nick's going to take us out with Luna, and until tomorrow,
you'll hear it.